masks. So a lot of people are making masks, and I've been trying to make masks for a little while now, and I keep putting it aside. I haven't been happy with the patterns that I was doing, and so I've been experimenting with some prototypes. um, I'm making them all out of 100% cotton, and I'm using these quarters that I had to make dog bandanas with. So I've pre-washed all the fabric. Now some people will say, some medical people will say, look, we want 4 layers of cotton. I'm doing 3, but I think the design is pretty good. Now bear in mind, these are non-medical, and they are really to stop you passing on anything that you might have to vulnerable people. Just say you want to deliver some, good cheer and some supplies to elderly parents. That's why you really need to have your own mask, I think, and these are great because they're washable. You just keep them for yourself. It's not using a lot of resources, and it's being health conscious for your community, because I personally just think we should be protecting vulnerable people, but also just back to life with just a few sort of really good guidelines. But that's my personal opinion. So what I've done, the pattern I've decided on, this is basically the shape, okay, and I'm cutting them against fabric I've folded. So this actually, you're cutting here down to the edge, and then here down to the edge, and then around. So if it opened up, you'd just have quite a weird little shape. So cutting it this way here, obviously that's to give a shape for the face. Okay, and to fit around like that. I'm also going to be putting a pleat, one there, and just to, so they're going to pull tight around the jaw, fit really well over your nose, and there'll be 3 layers. It'll be shaped nicely so you're breathing, but it's giving a good seal. So what I've done, because you don't want to put stitches through every single layer right down the front of your face, I've stitched 2 layers together. So an interior piece, the outer in the pattern that or colour that you want, and then an interior which you put nice, you don't turn inside out, and that goes up against there, sort of seam to seam, and then so that's the nice lining without the stitching on it. I'm using ties which are attached to the interior of the interior, which goes against your face, and then when that's stitched like that, the tag will be hidden and coming out. I do have elastic as well, and I'll be using this soft sort of, maybe like an elastic you might put on a camisole or on edging of things, and I do have some edging that I might put over. I'm not sure how far I'll go with it all. So yeah, 3-layered, 3-dimensional, and with nice long ties. This is what is really labor intensive, actually, is folding ties and then sewing them all up. My sewing has been terrible, and I didn't care. I've just used blue stitching for everything. Fuck it. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing today, finally getting back on with the face masks. I'm just making them for friends here in Brisbane, so that, if they are seeing their elderly parents and things, they've got protection, because anything, these are not medical, but it's doing your bit for the community, and that's why we wear them. It's not protecting ourselves, it's protecting others, and it will give some degree of protection, I suppose, to you as well, but I think the main reason wearing a non-medical mask is, you know, to not breathe all over everybody, to not spread anything. So ties, elastics, a shape, nicely shaped. I've made mainly all just this adult size, and then I've made what I've named globe size for a couple of friends with larger faces, and I've just made one smaller one. I've used all sorts of different fabrics. Some of them are really bright, like this purple one. But yeah, so just wanted to share that because some of you might be making masks, and so I thought, well, I'll show you what design I've decided on after quite a lot of trial and error. I've also, you know, some of them, when they're doing the shaping, they aren't angling under the chin. You don't have to, or you could put just a very tiny little piece there, but in the prototypes I made, I found that was a lot better. And then the last thing, I've got 18mm florist wire here. It's aluminium, so it can absolutely just go through the wash with your mask, and it's light and it's bendy. And what I'll be doing is, when sewing, when these are having their edges done, this will be going into the edge there, and what it does is it will hold that down over the nose even more snugly. This is shaped, be up there, but then the edging, so it's going to sit there. And you'll be able to just pinch that little bit over the nose as well to hold it securely on the bridge of your nose. So that's my design. There are so many different options out there. There's heaps of people selling kits to make them and things. These are all just spotlight quarters that I got. So fat quarters and quarters, they're basically these squares that you just buy, and I had a whole lot of them. I went and bought some more in just plain white to do for linings. Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of, I mean, I don't want to feel like anything is hopeless or not worth it or anything like that. It might be a waste of time and materials and energy, I don't know. But it's just something that my friends and I, you know, we can have should it we need it. It's our own personal mask ready to go, so that you know, we've just, it's just a little bit of peace of mind, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's my masks so far. I'll show you when they're finished. Oh, I mean, my gosh, I think I need to change. Look what I did. I'm gonna have to redo this one. I'm gonna remake a whole thing. My sewing machine just went spazzo, and that's when I stopped sewing yesterday. I went all day. I cut out all the patterns and I stitched them all up. I'm just using, this has got my makeup on it now. I've just stitched everything in blue. I didn't want to keep changing thread. Usually I'd be choosing a bobbin colour and a top stitch colour for every fabric, and I couldn't be fucked, so I just decided to do blue, and blue on all of them. But yeah, sorry, this is such a long video just about face masks. See ya.